Well, hello there. The prodigal son has returned after a long leave of absence, as per usual. I mean, every time I say apologies, but regardless, I've still hopefully kept active in terms of interacting with a lot of YouTubers, watching everyone's videos and such. I was kind of in a bit of exile this last few months, 6, 7, 8 months. I didn't buy books for ages. I actually went through the process of selling off about 75% of my collection, which is crazy when I think about it, but I've, I suppose, focused my collection a bit more now. I think I've given up on trying to complete runs because a lot of the time you end up accumulating so many books you don't even care about. I think I've said this before. So for me, I'm just being a lot more focused, a lot more selective, and having kind of a more concise collection which I can actually enjoy, as opposed to having hundreds of books, thousands of books even, that I don't even look at. But enough the jibber jabber. I guess everyone's here for the books, and we're starting off with a bang. Amazing Spider-Man 194, First Black Cat. This is a book that's kind of eluded me for a while. Prices kind of start to spike a little bit, and it was getting increasingly difficult to find a good copy over here. Thankfully, eBay came through, and I was able to find a really nice copy actually. Hopefully, you'll notice the picture quality's improved as well. I've actually bought myself a new camera with the intention of actually taking YouTube a bit more seriously. So hopefully, we will start seeing a lot more videos more frequently. I actually want to do a contest. I think the next video I do will be a contest video. I'm conscious that I've actually never done one, and I'm at about 387 subscribers or something like that, which I think is pretty cool actually. I didn't do this thinking that anybody would subscribe to me, so to get nearly 400 subscribers is pretty awesome. So yeah, I definitely want to give back to you guys. So my next video will be a contest, so make sure, I'd love everyone to kind of take part, as many people as possible to take part. I'll be giving away some good books. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one. So yeah, Spidey 194. So kind of the reason why I sold off a lot of my books was, well, one thing I want to do is complete the Ditko run on Spidey. Now, AF15, I don't know how soon I can get that, or if I will get that. But what I am noticing is, as the kind of the higher grade ones go on Heritage and Comic Connect, Comic Link, etc., they're going for record breaking prices. The more quote unquote affordable copies at a much lower grade, they're going to start seeing a premium, because everyone, well, there'll be a larger population of, a larger amount of people want to go for it. It's gone midnight here, so hence why I might be incoherent. But nonetheless, Spidey 28, First Molten Man. Again, this is a copy that is very, very difficult to, again, excuse the glare, but to get in higher grade. You'll notice this is the British variant, but I got such a good deal on it, I couldn't pass it up. And considering this is probably one of the toughest books to find in any kind of decent grade, and here I've managed to find a well-centered copy, only a few spine ticks. For the most part, actually, this is a very, very black book. Lots of gloss, and I think I got it for something like £40-50, which is ridiculous actually, and I'd put that, VF, something like that. I think it's a very good book, very good looking book, hence why I was able to forego my normal cent rule for it. But yeah, really happy to have it, and a book that I guess doesn't really need upgrading now. It's in fantastic condition. Then we'll switch it back to a bit of Romita. This is Spidey 46. This is First Shocker. Again, a really nice book. I got this in a lot of books. With some other Spideys. Sometimes you get lucky and you find sellers, when you look for one book, you see that they're listing a whole range of books within a given series. So this was just potluck, where a guy was listing a whole load of Spider-Mans. So sometimes it's in our advantage when there's loads of books, because some people focus on some different books, so you've got more scope if you chuck a few bids here and there, that you're actually going to win. I think this is how I won this one, by just spread betting effectively, and hoping that I won at least a few of them out of however many he had. So again, a really nice book. I think has a couple of imperfections, but decent spine. I think you got a little bit out there. I don't know if that's going to show, yeah. But yeah, really, really happy to have it. Boom. Oh, stand nearly fell over. Back to Ditko. This is Spidey 38. So this is his last book he ever wrote. This is a tough book to find in terms of what I love to get books if I can with white, with kind of having a nice bone white. You'll see if I put that up so you can see how white, how brown the book actually is. But nevertheless, it's actually in decent condition. This is probably my least favourite Ditko cover. I mean, it's a great pose from Spider-Man, but I guess this is where Ditko kind of didn't really care, so to speak. He had probably already checked out in his mind by the time he had even submitted this book, but nonetheless, it's a great book, in my opinion. And then we'll go. These are no chronological order, by the way. I'm just pulling them as and when. Amazing Spider-Man issue 30. Claws of the Cat. Haven't read this one, to be fair. I'm assuming it's some kind of cat burglar. Nothing particularly special about this book, other than it's a Ditko book, which, as I'm sure all aware, he's probably my favourite artist, and I've had a run-in with him as well, which probably makes me like him even more. So changing pace a little, going over to DC, Batman 244, the very famous Ra's al Ghul Batman fights it. Well, it's not even a fight. It's Batman is KO'd. This is probably one of my favourite Batman covers, actually, by Adams. Adams is another one that, as I've mentioned before, he confuses me a little bit. As wonderful as an artist he is, I don't know. He just doesn't have that passion. And like I said, I keep repeating myself because I saw him last year at the con, and it was a real shame. Although I went to the London Super Comic Con this year, I had the privilege of meeting Tom Palmer. He's awesome, man. He's really, really cool, really down to earth. I tried to get a sketch from him, but unfortunately he was busy all weekend, so I couldn't fit it in. But I didn't really want to print. I didn't really, because he had a couple of prints. But they were all Star Wars prints, and I do love Star Wars, but I wanted kind of something a bit more personal. So in the end, I just left it. But nonetheless, he was really cool. I also, because I help out every year some friends of mine on their stand, and I actually had Scott Williams and Alex Sinclair doing signings, and they actually produced a specific variant of the Dark Knight 3 for them. So Scott Williams was. It was amazing to watch them do sketches. Of course, Alex Sinclair and Scott Williams are 2/3 of the Jim Lee kind of era when he did X-Men and so on and so forth. So I think they did Hush as well. So really cool to me, and really down to earth guys. Really got to have a good chat with them over the course of the 2 days. Again, I didn't get any sketches, which in hindsight I wish I did, but nevertheless, at least I got to meet them, which is pretty cool. I'm sure our paths will cross down the road as well. Back to some books. Spidey. I need to get some focus. I think cutting out the top of the books. I'll have to adjust the camera next time. Spidey 41. Rhino. Again, they could have done something a bit more with him in the last Spider-Man film, but I guess he's cool. It's a cool concept. I've always liked Rhino. He's always intrigued me as a villain, big powerful villain, and I've always liked the big Abomination, Rhino, all these big Juggernaut, all these big menacing villains. So Romita did a great job with him. He made him. If you look at the scale of Spidey compared to Rhino, I think Romita is such a great artist. And I think whatever he touched, I really love Romita's art. He's somebody for me who's well up there in my top 5, I'd say even. Book's decent. Unfortunately, it's a bit. It's a bit of a spine roll done it. Well, I think it must be. It's a spine roll because you can see there the 12 cent is drifting over, so it's pulling up down there. But other than that, it's actually in decent shape, very good shape. I'm actually really happy because normally I'm not a grade snob, but more recently I've been becoming a bit more conscious about the grades I buy of books, and so I don't know why, but I guess you enjoy it a little bit more when they're in higher grade. But again, I'm not, like I said, I won't turn down a book because it's not a specific grade. But like I said, if I'm being more choosy, I will try and go for a higher grade book. Strange Tales 113. Now I can't remember, because I haven't read this one in a long time. This is probably before I went on my kind of exodus from comics. I got this. It must be. I can't remember what I got it for, but anyway, 113. I guess the third appearance of Doctor Strange. I think he's in it. I can't remember. He must be in it. 110, obviously, but this book kind of drew. I think it must be a Dick. This is obviously because it's a Ditko art as well. I got it, but this cover it's pretty lame, but it's the color scheme that kind of drew me in. The orange, the greens, the reds. It kind of drew me in, and for me, I'm a cover man more than a story. I love Stan Lee and I love what he's written, but I'm definitely a cover person. I follow more the art. So for me, that's kind of my criteria as well now. That's why I'm only going after books I consider where the covers kind of blow me away or intrigue me, or that kind of thing. So I guess that's how my collecting is going to go now. I don't know if it's going to have much rhyme or reason to some of the books I get. They'll be all over the place, but I guess that's kind of the fun of it, where you can kind of curate your own specific collection for your tastes. So yeah, stop waffling. Vengeance of Bane. Again, this is a book I wanted for a while. I really like Bane as a character, and I thought Tom Hardy's portrayal was fantastic as well, bringing him to life. And I love anything that Glenn Fabry does. His art is sorry, I just pulled it away from the camera to look at it. My bad. His art is spectacular. I've always loved his style. On Preacher, I'm really pissed off about Preacher because I had a whole run a couple of years ago and I got rid of him. So I'm a bit peeved now when I try to pick him up when the price is just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I got Preacher 1 near mint condition a couple of years ago for about £30, and now I probably won't even get a fine for that. So I'll probably get bloody good, so very good for that. So nonetheless, Vengeance of Bane. This is a book that never really, heated up. But I always find villains tend to shoot up and cool off very quick. I mean, you look at Ultron in the Avengers. That book shot up, and it's cooled right down. The only thing I see that's different to that is Thanos, or whatever you want to call him. He's kind of stayed consistently where he's at with the pricing, so that's probably the only exception to the rule. Whereas all the rest, you tend to see kind of spike and then kind of after the film kind of drop off a little bit. That was with Ronin from Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, it's all across the board, which is an interesting trend. And we got Daredevil 158. What started it all for Frank Miller in Daredevil. Again, a book that I wanted for quite a while. It's funny because this character actually reminds me of Frank Miller with the hat and stuff. So I'm sure this is probably loosely designed on Frank Miller's own appearance. But yeah, I got this from Missouri Comics over in the States a while ago for a decent price when they had one of their big flash sales, their monthly sales. Which is a good pick up. As I said, I'm always trying to get the sense. I mean, over here, all I ever seem to find are these kind of, especially these kind of late 70s, early 80s Daredevils are the Pence copies. And while there's no real difference, it just irks me. I don't know why, but yeah, I always prefer to get the cent copies. Then next we've got, like I said, I'm not a grade snob. For instance, look at this book. This is probably used as a coaster for somebody that clearly didn't take care of it, but fantastic for issue number 10. To be fair, I didn't pay for this book. I got it as a... I haven't made a video in so long, I haven't even told anybody this, but basically I was contacted via email from somebody who'd come into a collection of comics that their brother who had passed away had left them, and he had no idea what he had, so he asked me if I could come round and tell him what he's got, basically, or value them, as it were. So I went round, and it turns out he had a really high grade Tales to Astonish. Is it 27? Yeah, first Ant-Man, first Wasp, and loads of kind of Amazing Spider-Man 300, 361, first Carnage, loads of Miss Marvel ones, She-Hulk ones. So he had a lot of books, and I got him a deal. Unfortunately, I didn't buy any books off him, stupidly, but I arranged a deal for all the books to be bought by one of my local comic book stores that I frequent. And kind of as a thank you, they gave me a couple of books free. This is one of them. Again, this is probably in fair condition, good. Cover, everything's intact. It's just the cover's quite damaged. I've always liked this issue because this is where Jack Kirby and Stan Lee are kind of breaking the fourth wall. They're actually in the comic. But it's just a very cool Kirby cover. So yeah, I got this one free, and then I also got Silver Surfer #2 free, which is cool, which is really nice. And they gave me basically £100 spend store, and which I chose these two books. A really nice copy of Silver Surfer #2. Silver Surfer is a series I want to complete, even though I said I don't want to do runs. It's only 18 issues, and I love the Silver Surfer, so I thought, hey, let me try and complete that. And keeping with that, so I've got 4. I've got issue #4. That's what I had prior, and then obviously 2, 3. So I've got 2, 3, 4 now. First Mephisto, of course. Again, a nice looking book, decent shape. Haven't read them. I'm waiting to get all 18, and then I'll just sit down and plough through them. But really cool books nonetheless. Buscema's best works, I think. Well, to be fair to him, he's done a lot of good work, but I enjoy the Silver Surfer the most. And then we've got Fantastic Four 15. I think it's the Mad Thinker's first appearance. I don't know. I could be wrong. Probably wrong. I can't remember. Terrible. I know I'm terrible. But a very cool cover nonetheless. Again, I got this from Missouri Comics. Again, it's just that Kirby style of art. Just typical Kirby. You could always tell a Kirby book from a mile away, especially from this era. You could always tell what a Kirby book was. But love it nonetheless. Happy to have it. Great colour scheme. Right, last 2 books. Now I don't know if they can actually fit on this stand because they're both slabs. But first one, well, I'm gonna have to show them manually. First one is Spidey #7, and I got him in a 6.5. Beautiful looking copy. As I said, inching ever closer to getting a nice solid run of Ditko Spidey, 1 to 39, or 38 even, 1 to 38, sorry. Beautiful, beautiful book. And the pièce de résistance. It is a slab. It is a slab. But it's my first ever PGX comic. Now having a look at this, so they graded this a 5.0. And when I look at it, I thought it could actually be better. So I don't know if I should crack it and then resubmit it to CGC, but it's Amazing Spider-Man #4. I've seen copies graded, well, supposedly a very good fine, 5.0, and the cover has been a lot rattier than this. I mean, okay, the biggest glaring, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, is up the top left there. But other than that, it's actually in really nice shape. So I know it's hard to tell, but I wonder if you grading aficionados would agree with me when I say potentially cracking it out and resubmitting it to CGC. Let me know what you think. But yeah, another great addition to the collection. So, as I said, Ditko is well on its way to being completed, the Ditko run. Obviously, a lot of the times people say go for the most expensive books first and then go for the cheaper ones, but I don't think there is, apart from one and AF15, I don't think there really is a cheap book when it comes to the earlier ones, so I'm just going to have to bite the bullet. So one by one, these are my first 2 single-digit Ditko books, so I'll have to keep on pursuing the rest of them. So yeah, as I said, next video will be a contest video. So stay tuned to that, please. It'll be great if we can get as many submissions as possible. Got some good books I'll show you next time. It'll be fairly a straightforward one, I guess. Hopefully a lot of it'd be nice if people just filmed a video for it. So again, like I said, I'll explain it on my next video. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for staying subscribed, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.